another Heroes of Might and Magic 5 tier list. Today we're doing tier 5 creatures, so please let me know down in the comments what you guys think about all of these creatures, all of my previous tier lists from the first 4 tiers, as well as heroes and towns. And then we still got 2 more tier lists to go with these ones, all of them updated. So please don't forget, like, subscribe, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. We'll just get started here with Haven as well. Priests, I mean, let's be honest, these guys are just pretty bad. The only benefit that they really have is that they're actually a little bit like tough as far as like health and defense wise. Like they're not terrible, but attack wise they're not that great. And casting, we'll give the casting um, either one of the upgrades into B, because like the casting can be okay, but overall these units are just pretty terrible. I think they're definitely, I would say they're probably the worst tier 5 creature in the game right here for sure. And you could definitely argue, like I almost want to put them in C, but just for the fact that they got a little bit of utility there with casting and stuff, I'll put them into B. But the Hell Chargers, um, definitely minimum B just for the base. The upgrades though, I think I can only put them into A. They are really good. I think aside from, I feel like they're in Inferno. There's really only Pit Fiends and Devils that are good, and I think the Hell Chargers are definitely the third best, which kind of goes in order that way, I guess. Um, but at the same time, um, yeah, I mean they're just there's nothing really bad to say about them, but I don't think that they have that like umph into having S tier for me anyway. Now, if you would say that okay, you know, you feel like they're S tier, I wouldn't really argue against it too hard because they are pretty good units for sure, especially for tier 5. Um, but for me, they just don't really have like that extra factor. They definitely, you know, having the fire damage and having their auras and the fear and everything is good. Um, but at the same time, I don't feel like they are good enough to be S tier units. The leeches here for Necropolis. Um, dang, I don't really know. I'm definitely an Necropolis fan, and leeches have just never really impressed me. So the Death Cloud is nice, and they can cast, so you can either do um, Raise the Dead or Decay. Just kind of depends on which one you want, which one you would prefer. I personally like the Decay one better only because the Raise the Dead, those units will go away at the end of a fight. But yeah, I think I'll do the same and go B and then either upgrade into A. I just don't really feel like, I honestly, even though I'm a Necropolis fan, I might drop them down one into B and then the other one be in C tier, but you know, I guess they're undead, so that gives them a little bit of extra utility there or usefulness, but I don't really have anything great to say about leeches, to be honest. They're not that bad, but they don't really do anything spectacular. Definitely not S tier units. Unicorn. Um, honestly, the unicorn, I feel like is almost the same as the Hell Charger and the Nightmares there. So we have magic resistance, just base. I think the unicorn is okay for a unit, and then we have blinding attack, which I don't know if I should give that one a B as well. But any light magic cast on this unicorn is also applied to this unicorn. And I have all this extra stuff written down, so I make sure I don't forget anything, because there's a shit ton of units to go through, so I have all that little extra stuff written down. Um, Man, like, it's hard for me to not put anybody up in S tier, and the unicorn is really good. Really high initiative and movement speed for both the um, unicorns and nightmares here. Um, Unicorns definitely have more defense than nightmares, but probably about the same attack too. I feel like unicorns are a little bit tankier, not by much. Um, Definitely A. We might come back to that and swap it to S, but for now we're gonna stick into A. Hydra's here. Let me make sure I don't miss anything. Man, so Hydras automatically don't have no enemy retaliation, plus enrage, and then obviously the three-headed attack. Yeah, I think this is going to be our first one, so I think I'm going to put this one up into S. So biggest reason why, one, no enemy retaliation, can hit multiple units for no matter who you're doing. This one gets health regen per turn, which definitely I would say Hydra is probably the best dungeon creature. Maybe Black Dragon, but that's also a tier 7, so aside from that, I would say Hydra is probably the best. Now, obviously, Blood Maidens are fantastic, but, you know, they're only so good, right? Um, but this one does have Acid Blood, so poison anybody that hits them, anybody that they hit. Actually, I don't think it's poison, I think it just does extra damage to only who they're hitting. So maybe them into S depending on which one you'd prefer. But I feel like they have enough stuff to throw it into S tier because they just start with so much. I mean, no enemy retaliation plus enrage, and to hit as many units around them as you can. So I feel like that is enough in itself, let alone either health regening or doing acid damage when they are hit. I feel like that is good enough for me to throw them up in there. Djinns. Djinns are just too inconsistent for me. They have a lot of stuff, a lot of possible utility um, with being immune to some things and cursing or increasing or decreasing luck and stuff, but uh, honestly, to me, I can't really throw them up higher than a B. Maybe the upgraded ones into A's, but they just have literally no defense. They have high initiative and high movement for sure, and they're kind of like Cerberus from Tier 3 and Inferno. Like, you're going to get one really great hit, and then as soon as they start being attacked, they're gone. The utility is kind of there for these two, just based on if you want to, like, do some spells and whatnot. And they are higher magic proof as well, which, a lot of Academy is. So that's nice there, but I just, yeah, they're cool. I really like the unit, but actually, are they good? Not so much. At the very most, and it's like A minus if you're putting them into A. But I would say that as far as like if you're putting them into B, I would give them like the B plus kind of little extra there, but not too much. Now the fire priests, either one that you do, I'm putting these two into S. I believe I always get mixed up of this one and this one, which one is the upgraded picture. I believe that one is. I'm going to give either one of those into S tier, and I'm going to give that one into A as well. I just feel like with the casting, no matter which version you do, is very, very strong. Um, and being immune to fire, plus on top of that, if you run out of cast, their natural attack does pretty well. Now they don't have the greatest, highest amount of, health and defense, but most backline people don't. Um, so they do an insane amount of damage, especially with their spells. They're basically just a better version of Academy's mage, in my opinion, and they're also not going to hit your own units from Academy as well, so that's nice. Chieftains. Chieftains are hard. I know this upgrade is just straight bad. They don't really do anything. Um, so then there's double attacks, and then negative morale aura. I think, okay, this is probably the first time I'm ever gonna do, no, I don't think I can. I was gonna put the just base one better than this upgrade, because this upgrade version, as cool as it is not good. Um, but I think I might have to put this one into S. This one is close, like S minus A plus for sure. Biggest reason why, whole lot of movement speed. I think that chieftains should be a large creature. Like they have a large body, but they only have one spot. So their movement speed and initiative is very good. Their attack is very good. Their defense is a little bit lower, but you get some blood rage in there, and those guys will destroy anybody's team if they go unchecked for sure. Again, minimum I think A tier for this one. But this would be my tier 5 tier list for these guys. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, where you guys would place your favorite and least favorite tier 5 heroes and might and magic creatures. I think overall this is where I would place some people. Some people maybe, one up or one down depending, but overall this is kind of what I see, what I get, who I play with and against, what we are seeing from this dual mode series, so feel free to check that out. The dual mode series has really opened my eyes to a lot of different like upgrade versions and what they can do, different ways to utilize them, and how good that some units actually truly are that I've never personally liked, or vice versa that I've truly liked and I'm like, oh, they're fucking terrible now. So don't forget, like, subscribe, check out all of my Heroes of Might and Magic content, and we will see you guys in the next one.